thing about NXT, and you hear me saying that a lot, this doesn't make any sense, right? I was just saying it earlier on the Stephanie McMahon stuff. You hear me use that expression a lot. Very rarely, if ever, will you hear me complain about things not making sense on NXT or Lucha Underground. So generally speaking, this show, they do tend to, do things that make sense. And I think it makes sense for Joe to retain. And I think he will. I did catch up on last week's Lucha Underground, which I missed. That was the show where Cage beat Chavo to win the Gift of the Gods title, and then immediately cashed it in for a title shot against Matanza on this week's show. This week featured 2 title matches. Prince Puma, Dragon Azteca Jr., and Rey Mysterio Jr. against the new Trios Tag Team Champions, Jack Evans, PJ Black, and Johnny Mundo. Fun match. The story here is that the heels keep kicking the babyfaces in the nuts. They did it to win the Trios titles a few weeks ago, and they did it again here in this match. It worked for The Undertaker, so why not, right? So Mundo kicks Dragon Azteca right in his little dragons, and this pisses Prince Puma the fuck off. He is angry, and Puma gets in the ring, and he kicks Mundo right in his shining stars. Referee sees it. He disqualifies the babyfaces. Puma let his emotions get the best of him, and it cost his team the match. Second time this week that a babyface intentionally kicked someone in the testes for the DQ. He then super kicked the hell out of Taya. Mysterio now trying to hold Puma back to control him. It's a side of the Prince Puma character we haven't seen on this show yet. Very heelish. I liked it. You would think by now, though, that these guys would know to wear cups. But Brock Lesnar never seemed to figure that one out either. Main event was Matanza and Cage for the Lucha Underground Championship. This was a great match. 2 of the more athletically gifted big men, I think, in all of wrestling right now. At one point, they were each hitting each other with German suplexes and just completely no-selling them. Cage would hit one, Matanza would get right back up. Matanza would hit one, Cage would get right back up. I bet Vince Russo must have hated all of this tumbling and no-selling that was going on here. Matanza won with his Wrath of the Gods slam, which I thought came off a little anticlimactic given everything else they hit each other with, that it would take just one power slam to beat Cage. But, I guess you could argue that all those other moves took so much out of him, and that's why it only took one to beat him. I still think it came off flat. But the match was still really good. And El Rey has the entire thing up on their YouTube channel if you missed it. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of my thoughts on Lucha Underground this week. Let's get to the mailbag.